All right, collective consciousness. So today we'll be talking about the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. We'll be starting with tablet number 3, the key to wisdom. The reason why I selected this tablet as my very first introduction to the Emerald Tablets is because it has the 7 lures. And you're going to realize that the 7 lures is the foundation of our conscious transmutation. Before we get into that, we'll speak very lightly of what is the Emerald Tablets, who is Thoth, where did it come from? So you're going to have, on one side, people are going to say it's all made up, it's a lie. And the individual that supposedly translated these tablets, Michael Durrell, he just made it all up, okay? I find that very hard to believe that a man would go out of his way to write something and not take any credit for it. So what is my opinion? My opinion is these tablets are ancient wisdom. It was not written. Our consciousness did not write it. In other words, our group of people did not write it. And the reason why I believe that is because in the tablets, Thoth said that he built the Great Pyramid, which I am convinced that is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Thoth also said that he built a structure that looks like a man, but has a lion's body. So without a doubt, he's talking about the Sphinx in Egypt. The thing about those two structures is that it has great water erosion. Well, in our history, Egypt has never had any water, especially any water to do severe damage to those two structures. That's the reason why some experts will say that these structures has to be at least 12,000 to 12,000 to 36,000 years old, but it can't be any earlier than 12,000 years ago, because they believe that's when Egypt had water. I find that quite interesting because 12,000 to 14,000 years ago, that was the time of the Leo. So Leo in astrology is symbolic of the lion. So we have the Sphinx, which has a lion's body. Thoth said he built it. That's the reason why I don't believe that our consciousness wrote this work right here. But anyhow, it's here. So people said it's not real. I'm about to read it for you. You be the judge, okay? I, Thoth the Atlantean, give of my wisdom, give of my knowledge, give of my power. Freely I give to the children of men. Give that they too might have wisdom to shine through the world from the veil of the night. So when Thoth says, freely I give to the children of men, it is because Thoth's desire is to be a teacher. The tablet before this, the Halls of Amenti, Thoth shares that he was elected to the Halls of Amenti. And when the master asked him what did he want it to do, now since he doesn't have to partake in this dimension that we are living in, Thoth said, "Oh, Master, let me be a teacher among men." Wisdom is power, and power is wisdom. One with each other, perfecting the whole. So he's speaking about darkness and light. Okay? Power is wisdom, which is what? Knowledge. So to have knowledge of darkness and light would be perfecting the whole. That's what he's talking about, okay? Be thou not proud, old man, in thy wisdom. Discourse with the ignorant as well as the wise. If one comes to thee full of knowledge, listen and heed, for wisdom is all. Keep thou not silent when evil is spoken for truth, like the sunlight shines above all. So I don't think that this word evil translates very, very well. I think it's negativity would be the better word. He who overstepped the law shall be punished. For only through law comes the freedom of men. Okay, so, we're not talking about being punished, we're going to take you in the back and beat you. Or we're going to lock you up. This is punish consciously. This is a conscious struggle within yourself. In other words, you're going to punish yourself if you refuse to go through law. So what is law? You're going to find out through the 7 lords. And you're going to find out what that order is, okay? The 7 lords is at the end of this tablet. So you're going to have to kind of be patient, okay? I promise you it will be worth it. Cause thou not fear, for fear is a bondage. A feather that binds the darkness to men. So don't you find it interesting that he compares fear to a feather? And as we continue to move through the tablets, you're going to really find out what this fear represents. Follow thy heart during thy lifetime. Why? Because when you follow your heart, that brings you life, okay? That is the life in you. Do thou more than is commanded of thee. When thou hast gained riches, follow thou thy heart. For all these are of no avail if thy heart be weary. So it doesn't matter what you receive in life. We can give you $10 million. We can give you everything from a material standpoint that you can dream of. But if you're not going to follow your heart, you're always going to be living in fear. You're always going to be living in darkness. You will never be satisfied. Because following your heart, that's who you are, okay? That is very important that you understand that. Diminish thou not the time of following thy heart. Do not resist yourself. It is abhorred of the soul. It's disgusting to reject yourself to the soul. They that are guided go not astray. You will never be lost if you follow your heart. but they that are lost cannot find a straight path. If thou go among men, make for thyself love, the beginning and the end of the heart. Just be yourself. And when you're being your true self, that is love. He's not speaking of be yourself going out there cussing people out because you disagree with them. That's not love, okay? If one cometh unto thee for counsel, let him speak freely, that the thing for which he hath come to thee may be done. If he hesitates to open his heart to thee, it is because thou, the judge, doeth the wrong. He's not speaking of the person being the judge. He's speaking of that person that is hesitating to open his heart. He is judging himself, afraid of expressing who he is, afraid of following his heart. Repeat thou not extravagant speech, neither listen thou to it. Do not entertain that negativity. For it is the utterance of one not in equilibrium. The person is not in harmony with themselves. They wonder why they're miserable. This is, every single one of us can relate to this. Every single one of us. We want to do something, but yet we don't do it. Speak thou not of it, so that he before thee may know wisdom. Do not repeat it back. Why? Because then it will confirm to the person. Silence is of great profit. In the abundance of speech, profit nothing. You get nothing out of negativity. You get nothing speaking from a place of fear. Exalt not thy heart above the children of men, lest it be brought lower than the dust. Don't put yourself above everyone. Don't act like you're better than everyone. Again, this is something that pretty much every single human being has experienced. If thou be great among men, be honored for knowledge and gentleness. If thou seek to know the nature of a friend, ask not his companion, but pass a time alone with him. Debate with him, testing his heart by his words and his bearing. That's really the only way you can know a person, is when there's a debate. That's when you know what side they're on. That which goeth into the storehouse must come forth, and the things that are thine must be shared with a friend. Just be you, but make sure you come from a place of love. You know, when you're just you, you're actually being the light. When you're coming from a place of love, okay? And you know what that does? That allows the collective to see. It inspires the collective. It might even bring someone life, okay? Just be you. Knowledge is regarded by the fool as ignorance, and the things that are profitable are to him hurtful. He liveth in death. Therefore, it is therefore his food. I mean, he just lives off of it. Do not support it. Do not entertain it. The wise man lets his heart overflow, but keeps silent his mouth. Do not partake in something that is fear-based, because you're only, in a sense, putting fire on it. Oh man, listen to the voice of wisdom. Listen to the voice of light. Mysteries there are in the cosmos that unveiled, filled the world with their light. What is it speaking of? Light. It's speaking of life. Light is life-giving. Let he who would be free from the bonds of darkness first divine the material from the immaterial, the fire from the earth. To know we that as earth descends to earth, so also fire ascends unto fire and becomes one with fire. So you're going to find out what this word fire really means when Thoth speaks of that word. But I would tell you right now, the fire is the flame that contains all potentiality. We'll continue. He who knows the fire that is within, he that knows that all of the potentiality within himself shall ascend unto the eternal fire and dwell in it eternally. You need to understand that you are everything. You're going to figure out later, when we get to the seven lords, what that really means. Fire, the inner fire, is the most potent of all force. For it overcometh all things and penetrates to all things of the earth. This is saying a whole lot. The fire, the inner fire, is the most potent of all force. That's you following your heart. That is the most potent thing of all force. And it overcometh all things. That means that it's going to allow you to overcome that fear, that darkness. And it's going to penetrate to all things of the earth. It's important for you to be you, so then the collective can see it. So then they too can have life. So then they too can be inspired by that. Man supports himself only on that which resists. So earth must resist man, else he existed not. In other words, that very thing that you resist is only going to reflect back to you. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to eventually come out of the darkness and come into the light. Because that's your birthright, okay? The light. All eyes do not see with the same vision. For to one, an object appears of one form in the color, and to a different eye of another. In other words, we all have different perspectives of reality. So we're not going to have the same vision when we see a particular object. So also the infinite fire changing from color to color is never the same from day to day, because we all change eventually. Well, hopefully we change. Thus speak I, Thoth, of my wisdom. For a man is a fire burning bright through the night. Never is quenched in the veil of the darkness. Never is quenched by the veil of the night. You will never be satisfied living in the darkness. Never. But what does Thoth say? Man is a fire. Remember, that's that potentiality, all potentiality, burning bright through the night. That's what you actually are. But if you want to stay in darkness, you will never be satisfied. Into men's hearts I looked by my wisdom, found them not free from the bondage of strife, bitterness, free from the toils thy fire, O my brother, lest it be buried in the shadow of night. Hark ye, O man, and list to my wisdom. Where do name and form cease? Only in consciousness, invisible, in infinite force of radiant bright. The forms that ye create by brightening, they vision are truly effects that are foul thy cause. This is cause and effect. Man is a star bound to a body. You are the light, okay? Until in the end, he is free through his strifes. So we are a star bound to a body, which means that we have to experience darkness. Only by struggle and toiling thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out in new life. So let's read that again. Only by struggle and toiling shall the star within thee bloom out in new life. It is by design, people. You thought it was an accident? You thought it was a mistake that you struggle with something? It's by design. We're going to get there, the 7 lures, I promise you. He who knows the commandments of all things, the beginning, free is his star from the realm of night. Remember, O man, that all which exists is only another form of that which exists not. So he's talking about duality, and he's speaking of darkness and light. You are both of them. Everything that has being is passing into yet another being, and thou thyself are no exception.
Consider the law, for all is law.
That's that order that we're going to talk about.
Seek not that which is not of law.
Do not go away from the order, the process of how this realm works.
For such exists only in the illusions of the senses. Wisdom cometh to all her children, even as they cometh unto wisdom.
All through the ages, the light has been hidden. Remember, I told you it's by design. To struggle, to forget who you truly are. We can call it a game. If that's what you want to call it a game. Awake, old man, and be wise. Remember who you are. Deep in the mysteries of life have I traveled, seeking and searching for that which is hidden.
Listen, old man, and be wise. Far neath the earth crust,
in the halls of Amenti. So the halls of Amenti is a place that carries all the wisdom, okay? Mysteries I saw that was hidden from men. Often have I journeyed to deep hidden patches, looked on the light that is life among men. There, neath the flowers of life, ever living, search I the hearts and the secrets of men. Found I that man is but living in darkness. Light of the great fire is hidden within. We can't see. We cannot see that we are everything. We get so stuck on that very thing that we struggle with. So for some of you, that flower of life is sacred geometry. I'm not going to be able to really go in depth about it, but one day I'll create a video that is about sacred geometry. And the purpose of sacred geometry is to demonstrate what the universe is made of. It is made of music and art. And when you put colors and numbers over sacred geometry, it tells you where the consciousness is at. I know that may be a little bit too much for some of you, but I promise you I will have a video for that. Before the lords of hidden Amenti learn I the wisdom I give unto men. Masters are they of the great secret wisdom, brought from the future of infinity's end. 7 are they, the lords of Amenti, overloads they of the children of the morning. Sons of the cycles, masters of wisdom, form are not they as the children of men. So we are now going to begin we're going to start with the seven lords pretty soon. Thoth, he gives them numbers. Okay. So remember when I said the universe is built off of 2 things, music and art.